Lucky day, we got something else to fix. So if you're an RV owner, you're going to recognize these. This is a Splendide by Ariston washer and dryer. And I'll tell you how I came across these while we was down in Florida hanging out for a few months. We was out, me and my buddies out putt-putting around on the golf cart, and we seen these sitting at the curb in front of someone's RV, and they had a sign on it, free, because they didn't work. And so, okay, well, cool, that's right up my alley. So we loaded up on the golf cart, took 2 trips, got it back to the RV, and actually I figured I'll just drag them back home, get them back to Kentucky, dig into them to see what I can find out. So that's what I've done. And in fact, amazingly, I was able to get both of these pieces squeezed into that little Honda Fit tow vehicle that we have, a little 2011 Honda Fit. If you're looking for a tow vehicle, they're great because they're lightweight, very dependable. So anyway, so we got it drug home, and I dug into it. And actually, I've already figured it out, and I made the repair, but I reassembled it, and I'm going to take it back apart for your viewing pleasure to show you what I did. And there's 2 ways to go about fixing this. One way you can fix this with no parts whatsoever. Other way, it may cost you about $70 or so for the part I found that was bad. But you can do a bypass. Well, let me show you here the symptom. You see we got it plugged up here. Turn on the power. We have nothing. Not a light, not a sound. Absolutely dead. So if you've got a Splendide, it's absolutely dead. Not giving you any error codes. If you got an error code, okay, it's just a little simple. It kind of gives you a shot to where to go to. But this is absolutely nothing works. So what I'm going to do, I found out because of my pre-disassembly, I see a lot of people, they'll take them apart from the back. But I found that removing the bottom panel is a lot easier to gain access to the board and the components we need to test. So because our main components in here, you got an upper board that could go bad. You got a big lower circuit board that could go bad. You've also got a surge suppressor. I think they call it either a surge protector or they call it a suppression filter. So that device could also be bad. So there's a couple things you want to check. And if you're lucky, you might be able to get it going the same day without buying any parts. So let me get something soft laid down here on the concrete, and I'm going to lay this on its side, and we're going to take the bottom off. Okay, you see what side I have it laid down on? Lay it down this way. I've already taken 2 screws out of the bottom. We got 2 screws at the top here. 1 screw. Alright, so that comes right out there, easy peasy. And we can see our innards. So there's a large lower control board. They can sometimes go bad. But the most common thing I've found is the surge suppressor, or they call it a surge protector, I believe. But I'm going to show you how we can do a quick bypass to see if we can fix it without replacing the surge suppressor. So let me get my tools. Okay, so step 1, got the back off, got our tools now. We want to confirm we have 120 volts and a good neutral coming down to the board. This is our main power feed right here, this blue and this brown and blue wire. So we'll unplug this off the surge suppressor protector, and because I got my proximity tester, see it lights up, it tells me we have power. But let's confirm we have both one good 120 and a good neutral. Get my voltmeter here. Got live power, trying to be careful. I got that. Where's my negative? Alright. See, we got 125 volts. At least that tells us we do have power, good power, coming to the surge suppressor. And if you don't have good power coming in, then you need to follow your cord, take the top off, and look at this little connection up here. That could be your issue. So make sure, power has to pass through this connector first, and then it comes right down to this connector at the bottom. And I'll put a link to this PDF document telling you step by step what to do. There are another telltale sign is this is a new one here. This is the one I replaced. See how the green is recessed down in there? See how you can kind of just barely see the terminals are just over top. Now, if your terminals are way up high and you see green, it's pushed out, then that's most likely the surge suppressor is bad. but you just don't want to stop and order surge suppressor, because this could have went bad and also taken out the board too. So that's why we want to do a bypass and make sure the board is still good before we start ordering parts. Okay, so we know we've got good power here. And then our next step now is to make our little bypass. Okay, it's time for our bypass. Cord is unplugged. Now, this is my new suppressor I put on. So we're going to unplug it because we're going to now do the bypass. Because here's my old one, the one I've done dissected. You can see how I've made my little bypass. It's easy enough. Remember, our what was our brown? Yeah, our brown wire is our positive, blue is neutral. So I just cut that wire, put me 2 little ends on it like that. So what we're gonna do is plug this back onto the board. Hear a little click. Okay, now we just gotta plug these, match the colors up to this. So it's gonna take 2 hands, I'm sure. So I'm gonna plug up my brown wire to the brown and blue to the blue. So let me plug that up and see if we have power. Let me get my 2 hands on it. Okay, you see I've got my bypass in place. Remember, our power feed, comes from this cord, comes in the top, drops down. This power connection, its first stop is at the surge suppressor. But now you can see it's out of the loop. We bypassed it. We're taking this power, going straight into the lower main board. All right, now let's see if it works. Come around here, hit the power button. Voila! See there? We got power. So it'll work, and I've tested this. I ran all kinds of cycles through it, spin and everything. It runs absolutely fine without the surge suppressor. So you can quickly bypass yours and get your laundry going. Your wife will be happy. And then go ahead and order yourself a surge suppressor. Now, if you do this bypass and you still don't have no power, okay, so then it could be the lower bit board. It could be bad. Or it could be the upper boards. You're going to do a little bit more troubleshooting. So in that case, I'm going to put a link to this manual. It'll show you exactly what to do step by step on a little bit further troubleshooting to confirm yours is good or bad. But that's a pretty easy fix. And like I said, I got this for nothing. So I fixed it for, what was it, 75, 80 bucks for the search. Oh, I was going to tell you, when you need parts, just... here you go. Call this company right here. We'll get rid of the glare. There you go. Westland Sales. Give them a call. Have your model and serial number handy. And you see where's our model and serial number. Like on this one right here. There's the model. That's the model number. Where's the serial? Oh, there it is. So there is our model and our serial number. So have that ready. Give them a call. Get you a new part. Get yourself fixed. So my goal is, now that I've got this repaired and working, of course, you could, I was thinking about, okay, would you want to leave it this way in a bypass mode? I'm assuming if you ran one of these in a residential situation, maybe had a tiny home or small apartment, it'd probably be fine because you can pretty much rely on the voltage. But if you're in a campground, RV, boat, or something like that, where the voltage can vary, you know how RV and campgrounds are. So you need this suppressor in place to protect it, because you surely don't want to blow a board. They're not cheap. But this may get you a quick fix. So I'm going to finish putting this back together, flip it back up, and then I'll show you that it really works. You see I got my wires back together. And you may find you can, there's another test where you can measure the resistance on the surge suppressor. And mine that was actually bad tested good. So that's probably not a good test to go by. It tested within spec as far as on the resistance scale, but when it come to powering the unit, it did not work. So that's when I did the bypass, and it worked just fine. So we'll put the bottom on it, flip it back up, hook some water to it, and turn this thing on. Okay, I've got water hooked up to it. We got power, and put it on a quickie wash. Tick, tick. I hear water. I see water filling up. All right, I'm gonna let it run through a cycle here and see how it performs. See there, swishy, swishy. It's doing its thing all day long. There she goes, spinning away. these things get up to 1200 RPM. That thing really gets to flying at 1200. Amazing. Well, there's the complete unit, complete set. Even the dryer works. I know it's noisy. They're all noisy. I don't know why that is. It's just their nature. But anyway, this was the little culprit that was bad. Replaced it for like 75 bucks. Got a nice working set. And I guess what I'm going to do now, because I don't need these, we've already got one in our RV. And new, it's about 2,000 bucks. I think I'll put it on Amazon Marketplace. Maybe advertising for $7.99. See if I can't find a new home for them. Or, you know, I guess people in maybe houseboats, RVs, small apartments, tiny homes. I'm sure someone could use these things. But anyhow, so like I say, stay curious on stuff like this. I mean, I'd never worked on one of these before. Found it on the side of the road. I said, well, instead of letting it go to the dump, let me dig into it, see if I can't figure it out. Now, of course, all I did was download the service manual. Now, the service manual didn't say anything about doing a bypass. I kind of came up with that part on my own, but worked out pretty smooth. That's why I wanted to share that information for you. Do the bypass trick first. Make sure it does work. That way you confirm your board is good. And then remember, I'm going to put a link to this full troubleshooting manual in case you do a bypass and it still doesn't work. Then you got to troubleshoot the board, the lower board, upper board, and all that good stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching. Y'all have a blessed day. See you. Bye.